time? That's the question. Gambit are going to be more awake probably than they even were then.
Yeah, they're definitely on high alert after these two teams' last matchup, but it's a battle of the stars this evening. Complexity and Gambit. There can only be one. Who's going supernova? Right now, JKS falls away from Ticket, so we get ourselves that play out from a ramp. Config gonna go check top middle while the rest of his teammates rotate around through the spawn. And enters. Jumps back around the barrel. We get a little jiggle peek, a little bait and switch. And then the first headshot finally connects. Hobbit's able to keep the man advantage, and they do, of course, allocate a man to the back of the bomb site. That's Shiro playing it quietly. So if his teammates can get kills easily like this, hell, he's never going to have to come into the mix. Gambit, take round one.
That was more of a classic round on Mirage, where you take over CT control, and the CTs play the retake from there. The meta kind of develops in this gambly with a 1 dig on the second round. He said in the interview that's all it takes to get his confidence going.
Could be a warning sign early, but navi and Axile able to stabilize this one. So sure enough, they went pondering down from Catwalk. They got that first kill. JKS, AK. That's something to play with. Damage versus navi and Axile as well. But not going to be given any sort of an opening here. So Gambit will convert for the second round, but obviously this one comes with a cost.
It's been interesting with Gambit because they're becoming a name that you can't ignore, and they're a testing ground for other teams to go up against them because of how consistent they've been. And also, the story of Axile has become one of the most interesting focal points in CSGO, where the argument for, is he the best rifler in the world at the moment, is a real question to ask, right? Nico still exists, Rop still exists, and whatever, but at the end of 2021, if he keeps with the form that he's in right now, he could be easily top 5. He's getting the stats.
Becoming rumblings. We'll see if they can shake Complexity for a third straight round. We do have 3 Deagles, P250, and a Scout. And that Scout, that one rifle, well, it starts off well enough. Shiro goes down. JKS looks to hold off on Staircase, but Hobbit with the high ground, doing a very good job of relieving the pressure. There's still the potential for the CT peak. That's the big one. It's the last one. And
Must be doubly as bad, and that's the trap with Gambit. And here they find the opening kill, and the default rush goes down. They know Config is nearby. Flash will come out. Config is rotating in. They think he's over on Cat. He might be able to sneak a kill in here. He flashes through, gets over to Van, and also gets his kill. So sneaky, but enters, trades him immediately.
Yeah, still gives a bit of space for Blame to come out from Market. Then he's caught by navi.
That was a really big rest from Blame, but it's a situation where they're already down a player. That bomb goes down, and he's in Market. They probably lost. JKS on the other side of the map.
I feel like because Config gets away with that one, yes, Blame F's almost magnetized in, thinking he could pull off a similar situation. Dude, Config was so blind, I am shocked he wasn't slaughtered. Poison will be traded back at the hands of Shiro, and Gambit will be looking to clear the slate as JKS hides inside his palace.
Yeah, they have worked. That's such an interesting question to ask.
That's the head-to-head I wanted to see.
Well, all right, we've got a spot inside the B site. Just players with Eagles. Can't say just Eagles, I guess. A lot of good damage coming out.
2021, dude. Eagles. The hand cannons are successful alongside JKS on the M4. Look at this. Config staying alive back on bench. Axile's trying to get his eyes inside, but with the CTs moving all around these pillars, they have found sanctuary for a moment. Hobbit comes up from Catwalk, killing one, and then the prolonged spray to the Deagle swap. 8 seconds. Time is of the essence, and yet Hobbit remains ever present, and then drops bomb because JKS lingered long enough, and Axile cleared. Is that?
I mean, the rotations are there. Deagles are annoying. We already know that. Not every day you see Gambit get ecoed eat a half by loss, but today's a new day, my boy. Poison opens up with an opening op kill to the top of mid. That's Axile down immediately.
You know, the desk talked about X factors, and I think Config's name came up immediately because of the performance versus NIP. We always forget, I feel like, that Poison is one of the biggest X factors.
He's just been more inconsistent. But yeah.
But when it happened, but he sees defeat. Tough spray to maintain. Hobbit falls down into the spray. Had Hobbit held up there, maybe JKS is able to flick over to the left side peak. But
swing.
Yeah. Man dives into his deathbed. Config starts to push forward slightly in Palace while we watch Shiro hold the op on the other side of the map. Patience, the name of the game for this B bomb site where the bomb is in tow.
Yeah, at least got 1 kill. 50 seconds up. Moving towards B.
And Rush alone.
He is by himself. They've got mollies for this, but they aren't going to molly the end of Balk. And it looks like they aren't going to expect he's here either. One runs by. It's always a risk.
Yeah, and he gets traded after getting his one singular kill. Axile's got position, but Shiro has to give up what could have been a post plant in order to bring down the bomb. Molotov on windowsill, and the grenade comes soaring back. But that kill towards Cat is crucial. Shiro's going to take a bit of damage on the bomb site, and because Config missed what seemed to be that window jump, he's going to have to take the long route. Now, he's going to make that contact right now versus Axile. Drops the op shot, but it's op, the op, and through smoke, Config kills him. Shiro has the back. No scope to blame. But who's to blame if Config can't clutch this? That's the question Shiro's left asking as he peeks around the site, eats the flash, and has to hesitate only a moment longer. Config, no scope to the forehead of Shiro, and Complexity tie at 4.
That was a 3v4 mid-round from Gambit. Another opening kill for Complexity, which is fantastic. Oh, and Config, he ends up getting mowed down here on the A ramp. JKS gets dinked. Fall back to his, most popular spot. Blame F comes to the call of duty and helps him trade at least one more kill. Keeps this game competitive. The smokes are up on the site. CT rotation's a little bit slow, but it looks like Gambit do not want to commit up into A because there's not enough time to get across the site plant with the smoke still here.
Going to give Hobbit a chance to hunt.
Now they'll just wait for Complexity to look for info, basically.
Gives it over to Shiro, who is the bomb carrier at the moment.
They have 2 smokes now, so they can kind of do whatever they want. They actually, honestly, like a jungle connector smoke takes stairs control, plant in front of default or in the back of triple. They have a lot of options with just 2 smokes. You can also just smoke CT, and it looks like, yeah, they'll go that first route. And they can even post on jungle as well.
Here it comes. They could take stairs, and they will do so. Looked like that smoke actually had a gap inside connector. Hobbit comes back with the op, loses his head to Rush, who can't quite capitalize on the double. Pushes Blame to the clutch. And Blame F has not had the hottest of starts on Mirage. However, armored with the kit, Incendiary Smoke could burn Shiro into the open. He extinguishes the incendiary at his feet and peeks upon that backside, but nothing being offered. Shiro's head was spotted for a moment, and Inters can't really help because he's so low on health. But low on time is soon to be Blame F. Oh, and then like the red flag is already high on this A ramp. JKS has been in here more than once or twice. And he's present yet again. He sees the feet, same situation, predicts the peek, and gets both this time. Could even go one better. 3 kills from the Australian as Poison claws one off connector. It's Axile to the 1v4. 20 seconds to spare. Bomb in front of him. And JKS with the 3 kills.
Nasty stuff from JKS.
Very clean.
Listen, they didn't approach it properly again, but it's still, ridiculous 3K. Either any one of those players who got the kill, but it's funny. He's sitting in the same spot. They drop the same location. Inter swings late again, and it's 2 1v1s for JKS. Even let his gun reset. If you get him that awkward timing where he hasn't decided to spray transfer, and then his gun's still hot, you kill him that way. Game for Blame.
And as he sits at the bottom of the scoreboard, he's just got to have to try and keep that composure. JKS back turned, easy execution at the hands of Hobbit, and this is going to draw Complexity back towards A, you'd think.
Oh.
They actually don't bite on it.
This is interesting because it's just about a fear thing, but Hobbit is here for oh my god, they're still going to commit through. Okay, so Hobbit has to turn this into a flank now. Otherwise, this is actually just a bad move from Gambit to not simply run back.
They do still have time, but they're not going to use it. Op shot misses from Config. We've got T starting to hit the dirt. Double op inside the bomb site, and it's going to net them nothing. Unless Config can pull off the most miraculous of aces, which is just... We shall see if they can do it twice. AK walks out middle. Potential for 3 CTs to peek. Hell, even a 4th if they go double catwalk, which is what happens. JKS with the grenade kill, and then Blame F the window peek. Hobbit was drawn towards the cat player. Ooh, this is doable.
Look at Axile. He's actually working his way out of B as well. This is interesting. They're placing 2 bets on the roulette table, and I think it looks like they might even both pay off. The bomb still hasn't made a decision yet. Inter's out here collecting information, drawing CTs towards him. and also getting the kills.
And Bomb's still indecisive. We get that B commitment.
As long as he can still play, then they just play until they get the information.
BlameF's only real way to contest this would be to come up catwalk. At that point, they're going to have a deep marketplace angle back on Cat. And Shiro goes ahead to plant for himself. As expected, Blame comes up from catwalk, sees the Opper in Shiro, knows he's been spotted and redirects. But again, Axile's already posted, hears the audio, and finishes off BlameF with absolute ease.
One thing I feel like Gambit don't do a lot, obviously, are the fast rounds. But they're basically just winning such a high percentage of the slow ones. They don't even care how many nades the CTs are holding. They're willing to grind you down.
And that's exactly what's going to happen here towards middle. Nice grenade from Axile to finish off the con player. And this one with absolute ease. I do like that we've seen Gambit kind of take those hesitations in the mid-rounds. Bomb just comfortably sat back. The only time I think where like it could have blown up in their faces was when they had to commit to the B site, and we watched Complexity miss with their off. But other than that,
just switches on the burst while walking around.
Look at this. You're done for. You could even knife him.
No one's going to clear this.
Yeah. No need to. Don't let yourself die foolishly. Bomb's going to be able to hit that A site as they just caught the player getting aggressive. Sure enough, there it is. So another round where I feel like Gambit just comfortably cranked the dial on the pressure cooker.
The perfect opening tactic, that flash in mid.
Yep.
With Config walking his way up Cat slowly. So annoying to eat that timing, but it's all about just navi calling at the exact right time. And now one round to go. I think it's a 9-6 half, for how difficult this has been. It won't be too bad for Complexity. They're good on both sides. I think I like their CT side more in general, but
it was a 9-6 half on the T side of Gambit to start Mirage the last time they played each other. 16-7 final score. So maybe Complexity comes in with some T side improvements. That's really what they're shooting.
And they got to fight their way into an A site with at least 2 players here.
One of which is Rush. Really banking that they don't come clear him. He peeks.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Just the scout for Poison, and
they'll always make you regret it.
Utility and abundance. Poison's going to get blocked. Oh, but he gets inters. He hits him and pushes navi into a clutch. Mohan, where's your bet? We've got a split between the CT.
I'm betting CT. I mean, come on. I got
navi. Oh, what's his move, man? He's been given a little bit of time, a little bit of space.
This is the catch-all play.
Yeah. Oh my god, Poison jumps on ticket.
Oh.
navi doesn't know, and Config hits him from behind. Arrives in time for Complexity to seal this with a 6th. So, their most recent matchup not long ago, and a mirrored image to exactly how that happened. 6th. Shiro tucks to the corner, and Config's going to get the better of him, but here comes Hobbit, silently out from connector. He's been covered by JKS. navi through the murder hole, and Rush has his trade. But the trades upon trades leave us here. Axile's going to make a lot of sound, and BlameF creeps out from the underpass like a troll to get himself into the man advantage. But he doesn't go connector. Instead, he tries to go top mid, and that pushes him into a position where Inters can fight him. JKS hiding as far back as he has to. And Inter's going to try to commit to this stick. JKS, no! Deep in the hands of Shiro, M4s, and an adventurous play from Hobbit. This time, he gets the better of JKS again. That's quite a brewing duel between these two. Right now, Hobbit has his number on this second half. The 4v5 is where Complexity fought back from last round, with success, I may add.
It depends how Complexity are going to read this, but the other side of the map's a little bit weaker with such a far rotation. Rush makes his way out. Oh, there's a good flash, and Fence is dead. Axel comes out for the trade. Now his position is known. Will he find a second duel? Of course he will. Another headshot.
Poison smoked off, can't quite come through yet. This is going to give BlameF a chance to actively flank, but I believe it's being held from CT spawn. So Poison landing that shot's doing a good job of, keeping these B players occupied. And the rotate slowed down because of Blame's play. Poison on for the 1v4 with 2 opponents tagged, but little time. That's the biggest issue. Really, at this point, no time at all. He peeks outwards for...
So we extinguish the flame on Complexity's name. Shiro comes out with an aggressive op pick onto Poison. Poison seems ready for something like that, but Shiro's already in place by the time he gets there. And this is Palace Control, and it looks like the mode of aggression here for Complexity was to pincer on A, with Blame S coming underpass, and now it's a little bit scary knowing Shiro was last spotted here.
Config's ramp movement, not enough to get Shiro off the angle.
And he just has all his nades right.
Feels like because he kills Poison, he's super wary of there being more. It's not just that solo JKS lurk, but there's two instances off of Config and Blame F that kind of bring Complexity back into the round.
I think Shiro...
It's the lack of health I worry about.
I feel like Shiro knows exactly who is here. Look how careful he's being about this peak. But that smoke's going to come up. He's going to try to find a timing. Oh! Config tries to mask the drop with his shot. But look at Shiro rotating all around. Comes through the ladder under Balk. And now the last rotation is actually quite far away.
Damn.
Somehow Complexity have found a way out of this.
Ah, poor Shiro. He had done everything right. You were dead on. The decision-making in his movement was so precise, so calculated. Until he comes up the ladder and it's just JKS catching him off guard. I almost felt like that ladder no-scope was somehow going to hit.
Yeah, with the way things were going.
Blame F really bringing this round back into fruition with that late bottom play.
Yeah, I guess the bomb is planted opposite default here.
Blame F's exposed.
It looks like, yeah, he'll have the ability to spot one. Molly under Valk. Oh, that was such an important kill.
We saw an A commit versus 5 USPs that was costly. And these guys have more than USPs. Shiro's Deeg starts things off. Config comes out from Palace, and the CZ from Hobbit gets compromised because Config commits. He creates that space, all the space he needs, but he doesn't check his corner. That's an AK offered to Nafi.
And CT control with a player coming in behind them.
Poison. Oh, he misses his shot. There's two counter-terrorists ahead, and he gets burned out into the open. Rush's back's exposed, but he does slip onto the staircase. He gets the first towards ticket, but Nafi... Step your game up. Shiro starts. Poison is dead. And Blame F soon to follow, it seems. They're going to get a burst down onto the B site, but Inters is on the bench. Not behind the bench, not in front of the bench. He's standing on the bench. And now Blame F just left to burn down the clock before he inevitably loses this one to tie us up at 12. I'm shocked that Zipple hasn't given you one of every skin yet. You know, let's call it a a learning environment and just stack that inventory. You'll be an expert in no time.
And the number one Zipple's going to peek up. I really have to keep an eye on him. Yeah, he does actually pop up and take down Config, who is smoke blind the entire time. Oof. What a weird situation that was inside of the connector. And they tether off of this connector kill to overstack CT for just a few moments. Killing Config can tell a lot about the game plan. JKS up here holding halls, and the bomb on Poison's back at the top of mid. It's basically your move, Complexity. They're going to go for getting top control of the top of connector one more time. And this will encourage the split. 3 CTs here. Can Complexity do it again?
Well, Hobbit's position will be mollied. He does have a smoke, so now they know. He is locked into the sandwich. With a big old slice of ham. Shiro looking for connector kills, but nothing comes his way just yet, and he starts to look elsewhere. That could give timing to Blame F. We'll see. Poison's been able to get himself out towards the Tetris boxes, and Hobbit is actually caught because Poison pushes close. Blame F gets the better of the timing. We still have the Jungle Man and Nafany, but he now dies, and we've got Complexity into the 2v2. Blame F predicts the peek from Cat, but can't kill him, and the bomb does go down. Blame F on minimal HP. Axile's got him. Oh, that cat peek. Tons of damage between both the two players, and Blame F just couldn't get it over the line.
They had lukewarm water in the veins for that one. Both players peeking each other. No one could get the kill down quickly, but it was the most important kill in that situation.
Things. Complexity definitely an improvement compared to their last showing, but this fight, that had to go the way of Config. Axile was fully out in the open.
Yep.
Config hit the first shot, but it wasn't the headshot. And we'll have to see if Cole can claw back from yet again a 4v5 disadvantage.
Yeah, he got out so far as well. He's been in a couple of these opening rounds, knowing they aren't going to attack the mid-cross, or sometimes if the opera comes in connector to fight it, that's a problem. But Config's like taking one flash, crossing all the way across mid, and for that is specifically trying to counter Axile in his peak, and he did get the advantage, like you said, the first bullet off, but he didn't get the kill. Now, this can be one of the hardest spots of any map to play. Once you're in jungle, you see there is no choice. You know, this is Gambit. You know, they're the most optimized team in the entire world right now. And you can see navi has his attention split in this position. He has to think about connector as well as window. There's no way for his teammates to support him here, but he wants to be able to get the information right away, and he takes out Blame F on this lurk, looking for a timing. There's no distraction to pull his attention away, and JKS now feels like he has to take command of the situation and will try to swing. He does find the kill, but trades are not going their way.
No, JKS gets killed from navi. Couple pieces of utility, really not a stupendous buy. Axile over top of the smoke, has navi to lend a helping hand, and this is Gambit across the kill feed. Down to complexity, been offered over that bottom mid control, that catwalk crawl, only to be held back with total resistance here in the 28th. And Shiro dropping the bomb carrier. They know exactly what's going on. Gambit closing on Mirage. Yes, there is an improvement for complexity, but it is a map win from Gambit nonetheless. And a map win that they need. The first 5 rounds, way of Gambit. Complexity success in the middle, and then they lose 4 of the last 5 on the half. Gambit are very good at starting strong and adapting strong towards the end. And when we're talking 16-14 is the previous score, you know, every single one of these rounds is going to count, as it always does. So let's see if Cole can just get that flying start. Never let Gambit in. It's such a tough ask, but when you have pistols like this...
Dominance. It means the game is good if you have dominance. And also, it makes other teams better. So it makes your favorite team step up. It makes the roster changes happen. I don't think any era has made more roster changes happen than having Astralis win 4 majors between 2017 and 2019, I guess, would be the last major. But,
ow.
Yeah. That'll change this year.
Soon.
But Gambit making these games as hard as possible. Yeah. You know, just that one eco win when they were down 12-10, and then coming back. I mean, that is what makes your team better. You know, that's what makes your favorite team better. We should be thankful for it.
Many footsteps coming up this ramp. Blame F sticking around. He's got a teammate with him. These pesky pistol players not going to get anything done whatsoever. I mean, that's 2 rounds, 2 ramp pushes. 2 complexity wins, 10 players alive, goose eggs on the side of Gambit. But let's get into the real meat and taters. We got AKs coming up next.
Pim put it best. It's the best Vertigo team probably since the maps come out. Pretty much just own on this. They just destroy on this map. They've got this down to
a science.
The smallest margins here. They are the Vertigo chemists in Gambit, but they're also the most studied Vertigo team for sure.
Bunch of Heimerdingers.
Yeah, whatever that is.
League of Legends character, Wanders.
No way. Is there a League of Legends character called a Heimerdinger?
Yeah, something like that.
Holy hell! Glad I played Dota.
And you should be. 4v4. As navi walks around the tippity top of the ramp with the bomb by his side. Now, Config better be cautious. Or maybe Shiro should be careful. Config
what was that?
Config jumps by the door, but then he jumps up. That's a position that always feels like you never really have to jump up, or sometimes you feel like you're forced to.
He jumps up and gets kills, but it's so dangerous. You're right. Here's
the blank. Oh, no.
Uh-oh. This is the way back into the round. This almost confirms that there's 2 close by, because they had the big flank coming out.
But navi gets stuck between 2 CTs, and now it's Hobbit's turn to attempt his clutch.
Oh, this is interesting, man.
Half health?
This is so possible. Now, they did both cross left, and Flame's giving this kill. Oh, my God. I'm not...
Like what Pimp's facial hair is eventually going to turn into?
No, you said he had a brain, so...
Oh.
Can't be anything like...
Here's the headshot from JKS that could have been. Instead, it's a bit more labored, but he does get the Axile kill, and he comes at this with damage in abundance. Config opping, bro. That's, I mean, you see it every once in a while, but it's been looking good today. He comes in, 3 kills on this one, just makes mincemeat of the pistol play from Gambit, and we've advantage for the T side. It should be Gambit to push through. Rush peeks and nails the double kill. But there's that utility I'm talking about. Frag grenade to drop poison off the bomb site. It's a man advantage, and Rush is on for the ace.
Man, he takes no damage, too. Just that 30 health. And grab both.
Oh, he's got the fort.
Exile misses. Oh my god, almost all 5.
Inter's back at it, 46 HP, confirming Config's spot. And JKS could look to slip around. That's exactly what BlameF did last round. An op comes over the box.
On the CT side.
It's total control. JKS heard footsteps down here earlier on, but they had fallen silent for a while. Hobbit. Wallbang through box. Config back quad. Comes up quick as he pushes forward with the AWP. JKS has been seen, and the split comes through from Hobbit. He has his hands on the M4, and he got the headshot v Config. JKS shuts down Shiro, and Hobbit would need the ace. He's inside of the smoke and pushes past. The Aussie stands his JKS that needs to hold this line. He peeks out wide and dies to the hands of Axile. Hobbit gets his attention turned, and that primes Config to get himself onto the kill feed. Now, up close is Inters, and Shiro,
oh my god,
scoped as he walks by. Rush could deny the bomb. No, Shiro survived. Way deeper spot. He has only played on the bomb site. Axile gets the better of him. Axile looked good on Mirage.
Yeah.
Got his impact here. I thought maybe we'd go full circle. Config's going full circle down to the B bomb site, where he finds himself the bomb itself. He was chasing somebody else, and he actually kills Axile on the peak. JKS didn't want that front position. He's like, Config, you want to deal with this? And he does. Smoke grenade down, potentially to sell this, but yeah, good call by Hobbit there.
Wow.
To use the Molotov and force Config back into a more passive position. Rush's timing could be key as he kills Nafany, and Config is relentless. He is right back at it.
Shiro's got this angle, specifically waiting for this Config peak, and it is coming towards. Oh my god!
Where's the left click?
Are you kidding me?
Inter's keeping them honest top mid. Nafany almost looked away, but there's the... Ooh, Config! Slide by Deagle. Slide by Sly Dog. Config drops. Yes! That is so cool! Let's see if it's all worth it in the end. JKS, single kill. And Shiro still scoped in. As Poison walks right into it. Not going to happen twice. Hobbit has Config dead to rights, but tip of...
Down to the smoke spams on the A ramp. The T's are obviously happy to get it into these spots just in the post plant, but
I'm just grateful that, you know, we got through an entire half of Vertigo, and that was the first smoke spammy moment.
Yes. And it's because people are fighting more down the A ramp, like a lot more kills are happening in these defaults. People are not simply playing back and going for retakes, and BlameF another re-aggression down the ramp. He can't find the second kill. Shiro takes him out, keeps the player advantage, rush down to 1 HP. JKS in the site, back turn to Generator, no one to help him out on the stairs. He is completely segregated from his teammates.
Yeah, you'd think he's screwed, but that frag grenade does nothing.
Oh, what a cute position.
Two
Will he
players
get cleared?
Up from stairs already. Oh, and he peeks in. Good cover here from Hobbit. This is going to be the 6th for Gambit, you'd think. No reason to believe that Rush with 1 HP could help Poison in this 2 versus 4. They've got this deep post plant from Hobbit in middle. Yeah, I mean, bro, lock and key. Let's go ahead and concede. Wrap it up. Hobbit closes for Gambit as they do add 2 rounds. He is the front runner right away towards this B site. And you know Config can damn well entry. But they've got a player back hidden on quad. And Config's just dodging these flashes right into green. He succeeds. Oh! He got that kill through smoke! JKS is going to be down into the clutch and he falls.
Go back quickly on A ramp or just simply rotate out. We'll see what the...
Axile. Oh, man. The 2 players walk right in unready. Now we've got the MP9 on the close smoke, too. Axile, he knows his angles. He will die to Poison, but Shadow advantage wasn't quite enough. Config.
He's still alive.
Looking for more. Looks like the AK's fallen downwards. Unfortunate situation as Nafany flanks.
To make one extra step, and Rush will be that guy.
right there. Delivered. The Deagles continue to clap, and Hobbit gets all the closer. He's going to sprint in, finish things up with that MP9, makes an abundance of money with... They do not give you space. They suffocate you, and yet JKS can answer.
That's
and
huge.
I think that's huge.
I agree totally. Knowing that he's not here takes some pressure off. And it locks up the CT rotations a little bit unless they want to gamble. The scariest part about, maybe the scariest part about a Gambit is how quick they're willing to gamble. What the hell is that? If Hobbit gets a deal kill, is it the best gun that he could have? Or do you just feel like trying to shoot there?
Yeah, it's that or the MP9. JKS, in the meanwhile, pushes to the top of the stairs. Inters could get caught. He just saw him. He's just going to ignore that problem, allow for the bomb carrier to come on over, because he and his team will hold strong in this 4 versus 2. There's 2 of them actually here on the bomb site, and a third very close in tow. Hobbit jumps up, and JKS is going to push his face next to green. 2 kills from JKS. This one's just been opened. Shiro still towards CT spawn. JKS is on for the ace. But he's going to have to deal with the Cyclops and Shiro. Unscopes, sees rush. Oh, but it's navi to come in with the kill, so it needs to be all 5 from the Aussie. And as the counter-terrorists cross towards site, JKS needs to peek into Shiro. He sees him, he nails it, but navi half a damn second, not enough!
Ace! Disgusting! So tense. Whatever risk they want to take in complexity are moving pretty quickly here.
Yeah. They're all stacked around in short. All 3 of these A players from Gambit. Hobbit, first and foremost. Oh, the MAC-10 gets the better of him. navi, just the one and done, but do they expect Shiro? If nobody else gets him off of short and Inters arrives in time, that bomb's still not planted. Poison Sniper trades. It is 3 ops in this 2v2, but Config kills Shiro first, and Axile comes back at it. Just a few seconds to spare. The bomb should be planted. No wallbang yet. And sure enough, there it is. Axile takes to the top rope and repositions back around.
Play with some of these lower range weapons, but Config says, okay, screw this. We're not going to draw this out at all.
CTs are coming. Already starting to fight out spawn. JKS, we've seen him in a similar spot go big, and he's just lost Config.
This is such a powerful line that Axile has, and Config is the perfect counter to this position, of course.
It's mollied.
Axile, he's up. He gets out of dodge. The bomb goes down. They have Jenny control, and they're watching flank. Can they hold their nerve?
Sitting inside the pressure cooker. Will this come out delicious for complexity, or does Shiro spoil the tastes? He's been able to jump up. Oh, and he predicts JKS! The same spot that JKS last used. Rush, missing shots, and about to be pitched from behind. They've done it! Gambit again! Steal around, they have no business winning.
He fully cleared Jenny while in the air with his MP9 and abused the fiend. So much money made off of that. Shiro, another opening kill here.
But they're all here.
A-ramp control. There's 2 CTs perched up on this corner. Shiro can peek when he wants to. He's got a teammate to take attention away from him. Misses the flick. Rush gets both. 3-on-3 situation. Looking for a third is Rush, but he gets denied.
Poison can't find his target. He's fully blind. It falls to JKS yet again. And
dead on the lurk.
Dies to Axile. Tied.
A new look here. 3 out towards mid. Enters on patrol, spotting this, falls back into the site, defensive position, trying to isolate, but Hobbit spots 2 coming into the site.
Inter still, oh, it's a slaughter. 3 kills straight for Gambit until there's any answer. A 2v5 turned 1v4.
Damn.
Left in the hands of Blame F.
Off of that smoke they threw at mid, Hobbit just watched them both go by, said, Inters, get ready.
And Inters, if anybody's a weak link at the moment for Gambit, it's got to be him. And he still delivers.
They're trying to take the fight to him, but he played his position so well. You know, backside Jenny, you'd love to take that fight on a peak as they're coming out of heaven. If they don't initially spot you and you're hiding, then they're going to start clearing other angles, and then that's when you want to peek, and that's exactly what he did. And then, of course, Axile is a second line of defense.
Such a
just being so annoying. He is such... you can just leave him alone at all times. he's going to find the most annoying way to play it. Just that damage, 54 here onto Blame F, is going to shoot his odds of actually winning this round.
The fire nade turns into a firework.
And he needs to save. There is incentive for Gambit to try to hunt him just to make their next rounds easier. And this is where the game changes. They know a plant's not coming down. Final seconds, he's backing up into his CT, and he will die. Before time, but now no guns here for Complexity. Don't know if any investment is going to...
Blinded, navi in position.
Again.
Got eyes, not on it. Oh, he lines up 2 players. And navi, little HP, throws down the smoke in time to survive. And look at this, counter-terrorists collapsing down upon it. No flank needed when they're doing that wallbang damage. Shiro finding an angle. And you can see how desperate the remaining players of Complexity are.
navi is reading the game so well right now. At this point, every single time Blame F tries to do something, they've got the perfect counterplay. There's the flash flank to come in. Blame F with the sole AK, 1v5 situation, no HP to his name, 3 CTs in front of him, 108 on the clock. Can he at least take one more down? This is pretty much what he's looking for. Obviously, a round win's a bit too much to ask, but they've started to walk away. He doesn't have the bomb either. And they become paranoid about the idea that he may have just walked it all the way around. And I think at this point, Hobbit will probably push down the stairs or just hold and let his CT friends here sit and wait. But yeah, eventually he dies for health.
Shiro fires a shot. A warning over the bow of Complexity. They nade out sandbags, nobody there. Utility in both directions and CTs stacking this site. All of them ready to hold, but Rush with the headshot, and Shiro's op answers. Axile could catch them off with this, but instead it's Config over the top of that smoke. A 4v2 ensues. 25 seconds to spare. Blame F sticks that bomb plant, and now the retake's truly on. Shiro looking for a godlike clutch. But even if he doubles back to B, JKS should lock him in, and Complexity with at least a sign of life.
Here's an offer Poison as well. They take
what guns Gambit have when they are clumped, when they are grouped. The troops in position. Off of that flash, they decide to push. It's 1 kill so far from Rush, but it's good. In fact, it's flawless. Complexity take a 13th and deal with those measly pistols, but now it should be worse. Axile can still afford. He drops the op over to Shiro.
Trying to use to find that timing one more time. And Blame F does not spot navi over this. Oh, he does find it eventually.
Here's Shiro.
Critical moment.
On the back shelf. Now diving behind the sandbags. Remember, he came up empty-handed, but that is a killer headshot, and he's not alone! Hobbit comes out big! 3 kills straight to shut down ramp, and Gambit will take that 15th unless JKS from middle late with no bomb can somehow secure it. Launders, you mentioned it. You said once Shiro's on sandbags, they cancel them out. Then they replace the position with navi, and he goes unchecked. What's the additional layer? What's the new flavor? It's Hobbit. Off of short with the utmost amount of timing. But speaking of timing, there is still a clock to work with, but JKS unable. This map needed 30 rounds left. While the 2 guys in the back are watching sandbags, the one that he shoots down into, that's the person who's supposed to stop it. But Hobbit all too slick, and Shiro sick angle. They cannot get him out of here. Gambit 3 kills away from closing Vertigo and stopping Complexity when they damn well thought they had a chance. Shiro's had enough. And Complexity battered and bruised in a 2v5 have no right to continue this second map. But one hell of a series and one hell of a showing from Shiro. He finishes things off. 4 kills on that A site, and despite Complexity's best efforts, it's Gambit to win again.
I mean,